Hello, everyone, and thank you very much for joining us today for Appian World Virtual Edition. I hope you're having a great conference so far. In this session, we will be talking about AI-powered intelligent document processing for a changing world. We're all facing something very unique today. Most of us have never really experienced something like this before. As organizations make their way out of the pandemic, a number of business processes are bound to change, and a number of new processes and applications will be created. For example, the Paycheck Protection Program under the CARES Act that provides loans to small businesses. In this session, we will be discussing how Appian's low-code automation capabilities can be combined with Google's document AI capabilities to deliver really transformational document-centric applications for the enterprises. In the session today, I will be co-presenting this with Nelson Gonzalez. Nelson is a product manager for Google Cloud, and he is responsible for building new industry solutions using Google's machine learning capabilities and Google Cloud Platform. And I'm Preetham Bagani. I am the Director of Product Strategy at Appian. So with that, I would like to thank you, Nelson, for taking the time for presenting with us today. And I'll pass it over to you to provide more details about document AI capabilities.
Yeah, thank you, Pritham, and good day, everybody. I'd like to start off by saying thanks to Appian for inviting me and inviting Google to be part of your Appian World Conference. So I also hope you're having a great conference. So I'd like to start by sharing our perspective on the value of documents, right? So we call this area, we call it document AI. And document AI is about enabling businesses to unlock insights that are found in documents, and to do that by leveraging machine learning. Document AI really is about a simple three-step process. The first step is to be able to read the information, read the text that is found in PDF documents, is found in images, other types of source documents, to read that information. The second step is about understanding the information found there. And understanding leverages machine learning, right, to find the semantic value of what has been extracted from the documents. And the third step is really the most critical one, is to integrate that newfound meaning in the documents and integrate that to drive value in your processes, in your business. Google has enabled customers in all different industries, ranging from industries that are very regulated, like financial services, to many other industries that utilize document-intensive processes. And this effort about leveraging document AI, leverages multiple capabilities found across Google and Google Cloud, from capturing the information in the document. So you see here an example about a check, right? This check may have been provided by a person applying for a mortgage at a bank, right? So the check, if you see the check, just by extracting the information, you see that the type of document is a check, and you see the amount of the check, and you see the payee, right? But then what we do with machine learning at Google is to utilize that best-in-class machine learning capability to find the meaning, right, of that document, right? To find that Allstate relates to a specific company, Allstate Insurance. And we bring there not only machine learning, but we bring other capabilities like the Google Knowledge Graph. And with that, we're able to make meaning on that document. And then the next step, because this information needs to be integrated into your decision systems, into your operation systems, is to securely store the data that has been extracted so that it can be analyzed, and so that it's not only used for processes, but can also drive decision-making through advanced analytics. So we are bringing document AI to all sorts of use cases across industries. So if you look at this in financial services, again, there are areas like lending document processing, which we'll talk about today. There are other areas like fraud detection, KYC. If you look at retail, the ability to make recommendation AI, all these different use cases, to some extent, leverage data found in documents. One specific case I'd like to talk about is procurement. So every organization buys things, right? And you may be familiar that once a business buys something, the business will receive an invoice. If you look at invoice as a document, right, we are leveraging multiple components of document AI to extract valuable information from invoice. And you see here 3 different levels of document AI. So Google offers a Vision OCR component that utilizes best-in-class capabilities to extract the text from an invoice, whether it's typed or handwritten. And you see here the result of doing that, right? You extract, you see that there's an invoice, you see the bill to, all of that, but with just OCR, you don't find the meaning. What you could do next with another product in our document AI portfolio is extract key value pairs and extract data in tables. So you as a customer could utilize Form Parser, it's a product we have, to basically not only extract the text, but also do it in a way that is a structure where you see the information in the table. But the third level, we find that we need to bring value to our partners like Appian and our customers by building specialized components that focus on specific products like invoices. So the invoice parser focuses on extracting data from invoices. And as you can see here, it does that by utilizing a specific schema. So it knows that every invoice needs to have a bill to. Every invoice usually has a line items with products. So our invoice parser knows that and is able to make a much better decision of extracting the invoice. So as you can see, this goes way beyond OCR automation because we're leveraging machine learning to make sense of the invoice as an example. Now, what I'd like to do now is turn back to Pritam, who's going to share a very interesting practical application of all these technologies.
Thank you, Nelson. So as you can see, like the Google Document AI capabilities are really game-changing. And we are super excited to be partnering with Google to bring these capabilities to the process automation world. Now, deploying these document AI capabilities and at enterprise scale also requires, being able to incorporate these document AI capabilities into business processes, end-to-end business processes like procure to pay, where you're processing hundreds of invoices or purchase orders as part of this procure to pay application. In addition to that, there's a very important aspect of making sure that people and machine learning models are able to work very seamlessly together, which means that when a machine learning model is not very confident about a prediction, a user can be brought into the loop seamlessly. And that input that the user provides helps retrain the model and make it smarter over time. So we're also doing that to make it really seamless to bring machine learning models and AI together. Really, like people and their input makes the model smarter. It's also important to be able to track and govern your machine learning model and see how they're performing over time. Is the accuracy improving over time or not? And finally, within the process automation world, bringing these capabilities in a way that are really easy to deploy provides fast time to value without requiring any machine learning and AI expertise. All of these are really important to deploy machine learning or document AI capabilities at scale within enterprises. And we are doing just that. And we're doing it with this application called Intelligent Document Processing. It's a pre-built application that utilizes Google's document AI capabilities. It's optimized for intelligent document processing. It's built using the standard Appian platform capabilities, which means it can be very easily extended or modified as if needed. And finally, it ships for free with the Appian platform. So there is no additional cost to using this application for our customers. Now, going a little bit under the hood, just to explain you how the application works. If you have multiple business processes, let's say you have an invoice processing process, a claims process, and you have an employee onboarding process, and they're all sending documents into this intelligent document processing application, there are two steps that happen. The first step is classification, which utilizes Google's AutoML natural language capabilities. And then people are involved in this process as needed. And the inputs that they provide is used to retrain the model and make them smarter over time. The second step is extraction, which uses Google's document AI capabilities, and it extracts the data out of the documents. Like Nelson was saying, Google is not only able to extract information, but it's also able to understand the relationship, understand the document, and that's what the extraction step does. Again, there are people involved if needed, and the accuracy of extraction improves when people perform certain activities as part of the reconciliation process during the extraction of documents. So let's see all of this in action very quickly through a quick demo. So you should all be hopefully able to see my screen now. I am on the Configure tab of my Intelligent Document Processing application. I want to show you how easy it is to get started with this application. We ship out of the box with 4 different document types: claims, invoices, purchase orders, and receipts. You can add more types of documents, and you can also customize the fields that you want to extract from these document types. In my demo, I'm going to just pick invoices and purchase order as the 2 document types that I want to process. Once I do that, all I have to do is upload a set of sample documents. So I'm going to upload some invoices and some purchase orders. And these documents will be used to train the model or create a custom machine learning model for my needs. If I'm a company, it'll be a custom machine learning model for my needs, for my invoices, for my purchase orders. We only need 20 documents to train the model to get started with this. Once you do that, all you have to do is set some preferences, like what should be the classification confidence threshold, how many documents do you want to process before you retrain the model, what should be the extraction confidence threshold. I'll just leave it as default, and that's all you have to do. Once you click the train model, the documents that I uploaded will be sent to Google. Google will do its magic, and they will create a machine learning model that is custom for my needs. And once the model is ready, I'll get a notification saying your model is ready, and I can start making predictions. So now let me go back to this document tab. Because it takes like 3 or 4 hours to train a model, I'm not going to train a model right now, but I'll show you how this works with a document that I'll process through the entire IDP application. So I have a purchase order here called Acme Corporation purchase order. I'm going to open it, and I'll say start processing. Now, obviously, I'm doing it manually, but you can do this programmatically using APIs. When I do start process, you will notice that in my document tab, you'll now see the Acme Corporation purchase order here and the status as auto classifying, which means the model is trying to classify what type of document it is. If I refresh my screen, generally it takes a couple of seconds for the model to classify the document. It says it's pending classification. And that happened because the classification threshold was less than 85%, which was 60%. So in this case, a task will be automatically created for a user to take a look at this document and to make sure that this is indeed a purchase order. So the model predicted with 60% confidence that it is a purchase order. It looks like a purchase order indeed. So I'm going to just say classify. This input from me will be taken and it will be stored. And once we process 100 documents, all these inputs will be sent back again to retrain the model and to make it smarter. Now, once I've done that, the other thing that happens is extraction. So now when I go back to my documents tab, these are all my documents that I'm processing. You'll see that the status now says as auto extracting, which means that now we're trying to extract the data out of the document. So let me refresh my screen. The status should hopefully change to pending reconciliation, which means that there should be a task now created for me to look at the information that was extracted. I'll accept this task. In this case, these are the data set or data elements that I wanted to extract from my invoice. And it seems like we have extracted all of those data elements. But we've also created this interface that makes it really straightforward for people to do this reconciliation work. If, for example, let's say if purchaser field was incorrectly captured by the machine learning model, let's say instead of the signature John Hilson, we wanted to capture requested by, it's really easy to do that. I can just click on this. This is where Google is understanding that there is a field, a key called requested by, and there is a value associated with that key. All I have to do now is click on this blue button and it'll add that information to my form here. So this is the reconciliation experience that augments the machine learning models. So with that, I'm going to just very quickly move on to this metrics tab to give you insights on how Appian also helps you track the KPIs associated with document processing. It's taking a little bit. So now you can see, we capture all types of key performance indicators, whether the accuracy of machine learning models is improving over time or not, how accurately are we auto extracting the information from document, is the reconciliation time that people are performing the document, reconciling the document, is that reducing over time or not? And this can be done across all the different documents, that you channel into the intelligent document processing application. So let me stop my screen share here and go back to my presentation and give you a very quick recap of what we just saw. And really just want to highlight some quick things like, it's really fast to get started with Appian. All you have to do is a bunch of clicks and you're all configured and ready to go. Accuracy improves with use. The input that people provide helps make the machine learning model, the extraction capabilities, the classification capabilities better over time. It's easy to manage document variations. Invoices could come in many different shapes and sizes and forms. And because Google is able to understand the relationships between the data elements, it's easy to manage those variations. We don't have to do any, templatized approaches, and it just makes it much more easy to manage and maintain. We also have governance and monitoring, so you can look at how your models are performing over time. And finally, we have the low-code automation platform that makes it really flexible for you to incorporate these capabilities into your end-to-end business processes. With that, let me actually transition it back to Nelson. And Nelson is going to provide you an example of how these capabilities are being used in a very relevant application, the Paycheck Protection application in the current pandemic situation.
Hey, thanks, Pritam, and it's great to see the IDP demo and to see how easy and how significant it is, for our customers. So we like to share another area where we're partnering with Appian to bring value to customers, and this is actually specific to what we're encountering right now with COVID. Google is contributing in several areas. We have many Googlers, helping in, a portal that was related to COVID to provide information. There's also another initiative that is very relevant to document AI. You may have heard that nursing homes have been heavily impacted by this situation, by the COVID-19 virus. And there's an effort right now, and we're working with our healthcare team and a nursing home operator to enable the extraction of data from forms that get filled in as the senior citizens are being tested at the nursing homes. Is really critical to take that information along with the testing that is done with it, and to ensure that quick decision has been taken. So we've been helping in that area. The other area we wanted to highlight today is the Paycheck Protection Program. So this is an SBA program that provides loans to small businesses that are impacted by COVID, and they do that so that the small businesses can retain employees during this time. And Google looked at this, and we worked on three areas: a loan portal, a PPP parser, which is a key component, is the document AI component, and analytics that goes with it. And we'd like to talk today about The document AI component, that is a component that we are working with Appian very closely in. And what it does is very simple. As Pritam discussed earlier, typically in these efforts, to be able to drive value from the information in the documents, you actually need to ingest the document, right? So in this case, the document is various loan documents. You also need to classify it, right? Similar to the demo that you saw earlier from Pritam. And then finally, once you classify the document, you need to extract the data. And in order to support this Paycheck Protection Program, our engineering team worked very hard the last few weeks to make this available to customers. This specialized component is able to extract data from the border application form, from 3 IRS forms, 941, 942, 1040, that are commonly used to document loan application, is able to ingest checks, including routing numbers and account numbers, payroll information, as well as the invoice that I discussed earlier, because, during the forgiveness part, so PPP, the Paycheck Protection Program has the loan application part, but there's another part that happens later where applicants need to apply for forgiveness of the loan. So things like being able to read an invoice related to a rent payment is very critical. So with that, I'd like to share back the microphone to Pritam, who is going to talk about how Appian is bringing the PPP solution for our customers.
Thank you, Nelson. So Appian is also doing its part. Appian has created a pre-built application that supports the full life cycle of a new Paycheck Protection Program loan under the CARES Act. It supports the full life cycle from loan application, qualification, fee reimbursement, compliance, reporting, and auditing. It's pre-built, so you can really go live in just a matter of days. It's built using the Appian platform, so you can easily extend it. And it uses advanced automation features, just like Nelson was talking about. It uses document AI capabilities to process all these documents in a smarter and more efficient way. So with that, I would like to call to attention some of the resources that you can utilize to learn more about the different topics that we talked about today. You can go to appian.com and request a free trial. The free trial includes the intelligent document processing application that you saw, and you can try it out with your own documents. You can also visit Google's booth at the Platinum Solution Showcase in our virtual event and learn more about the capabilities about document AI capabilities from Google. And finally, if you're interested in learning more about the Paycheck Protection Program, there is a comprehensive demo that we have on our website. So you can go to appian.com and see that demo in action. So hopefully this was a useful session for you, and hopefully you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for taking the time. Thank you, Nelson, again to participate in this presentation with us. And I hope everybody has a great day. And thank you again for your time.
Yeah, thank you, Pritam and the Appian team. Have a great rest of the conference. Thank you.